Hey, lovers. Welcome to the Book Lovers Club, the podcast where we celebrate Black Sapphic love stories, one book at a time. I'm your host, Joy, a married lesbian, lifelong book lover, and relational communication scholar. Here, we don't just read the romance, we learn from it. I believe that love stories can do more than just entertain us. They can teach us how to love better, how to see ourselves more clearly, and how to create the love life of our dreams. Each week, I'll dive into sapphic stories written for us and by us, while weaving in personal insights and communication lessons you can take off the page. So grab your drink, get cozy, and let's turn the page together. Welcome to the club. Hey, book lovers! Welcome back to another episode of the Book Lovers Club. And y'all, I promised y'all that I was going to get her in the studio with me because today is a special episode. I am joined with author Monique Goode, and I am so glad to have you with me. So, just for some context, me and her connected at the Secret World of Maggie Gray book signing event in Atlanta. And I love the vibe. And I'm like, yes, like, please come on my podcast. And she agreed. And I am so excited for you all to get to know her alongside me and hear more about her writing. So, welcome to the podcast, Monique. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Can you just introduce yourself to the audience and let us know a little bit more about you before we get started?
Yeah, so I'm Monique Good. I primarily write black romances that center queer black people. Sapphic is my specialty. I also create worlds that incorporate fantasy, paranormal, smut, cartel. I'm all about the mixture of the things and like layering the trope. But I'm really excited to talk to y'all and put y'all into my world.
Yes. So, how long have you been writing? When did you first start writing?
So I started writing in elementary school for a very long time just to escape. And then I kind of went into middle school and started doing like fan fiction, like of B5 and like these Bow Wow and stuff like that. I kind of stopped for a little bit and then I kind of did some self help stuff because I used to be a business coach, but I didn't really start diving into the world of like fiction until like Black Book Talk really blew up, which was in like 2023. So that's when I started my journey, and here I am now.
Wow, I love that. So you are self-published. How has the book community supported you or have you felt embraced by Book Talk as you've been on your journey?
Yes, absolutely. So I started off as a content creator. I kind of fell into it. It was like a peak after COVID, like we were still kind of locked down. Just talking about books, and I primarily was looking for a Sapphic Mafia book for Black Sapphic Mafia book, and we couldn't really find any. But they were like, just write it," and I was like, "I don't know." So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. So they've been following my journey, my audience, and everything like that. And we've been, I built a community. A lot of people are just like, where the book at? So I felt a lot of support, a lot of love. They pushed me, they've encouraged me. So I like to say that is why I'm an author today, because of Black Book Talk and that
Wow.
foundation.
It's just a lot of support I'm finding out there if you know how to go and look for it and how to tap in. And I think there are a lot of people who they want to see the journey and want to be a part of the journey and want to like support you as you go on that journey. So I'm glad that you've been able to access that. I did read your book, girl, The Cure of Us. And vampires, black, women loving women, urban, like, I'm here for
Okay.
all of it, okay? So, can you talk a little bit about the book? What gave you the inspiration to write that type of story?
Yeah, so The Cure of Us is book one in my Blood Money series. It is a queer urban fiction saga that incorporates a human vampire cartel. And the first book follows Sage, who is a twin, and she's the daughter of the kingpin. And she's navigating being the protector of a vampire, and she falls in love unexpectedly. And then the second book, which is called The Fate of Us, it follows her twin brother. So I wanted to take everybody through the journey of the cartel, but getting different aspects of them because the brother is gay as well. So you're gonna get some male romance. But really, what prompted me going back to just me asking for recommendations for like sapphic urban mafia type books. I was encouraged to write it, and I also love vampires, so I was kind of like, how can I put these two together? And so I was like, well, what if they were like dealing blood? So I was like, okay, that sounds real out there. So I was like, let me go ahead and come up with a storyline. So it has been really fun to actually write the book and write the series. So I can't wait for y'all to check it out.
I'm excited that this book is about Salem because I really liked his character, girl. And I liked his vibe with Sage, like them as twins. So I'm really
Yeah,
excited to read his book. He was funny to me. So like, yeah. I think
thank
too,
you.
because it was urban, I just like that it
Hmm.
has a black voice. And
Yeah.
that's something I really appreciated that you centered that in your writing.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really wanted to make sure, especially like when it comes to urban, I feel like it's more space to be yourself, especially when it comes to just like being black and having that culture to connect to your readers. Not that you can't in other types of romances, but I think it's more accepted. So I was
Yeah.
like, I'm glad that I get to write this as my first book to use my voice because there's pressure to be grammatically correct or to have this proper way of writing. But I think specifically in the urban space and black romance space is freedom to just like talk how you want to talk because that's just who we are. That's our culture.
Yes, I do feel like that leads to us being overly critiqued though. And that's the only issue I have is that non-black readers will then come and, want to support the authors, but then will hold, us to a standard, and that's not how we speak. That's not a culturally relevant way of writing, if that makes sense. And like,
Mhm.
I don't know. I just feel like we get like overly criticized in the reviews. Have you experienced any of that, or is this resonating with you? Because just outside looking in, that's what it appears to be to me.
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
definitely. I've come to a point where I realize I cannot look at reviews, especially negative
Mm,
reviews. 'Cause, yeah, in the beginning, when it was new, I was excited, but then I started getting like overly critiqued. Like one girl in particular, I ain't gonna say no names because it is what it is, but she was like, I hate the overuse of the word bitch. And I'm just like, it's urban fiction.
that's real.
Like, it's urban fiction. That is the culture of which we speak. And she was like, kind of turned her off. So I'm just like, I mean, thank you for your opinion, your feedback. But when people critique stuff based off of the culture of the actual type of genre that we're writing in, it's kind of like, okay. But I used to take it personal, but now I'm just like, reviews are just opinions. Everyone has one, and I'm not writing for you. Thank you for reading and keep it moving.
That's real. I also feel like that criticism that we're experiencing right now has been impacting the loss of creativity I feel like we've been experiencing in the books because, you know, artists and authors, of course, you all want to make money. People are trying to create art that they think will sell. But then if
Right.
really center Black culture, I think people sometimes think that it won't be appealing to non Black people, and that's the number one, like,
Hmm.
feedback and criticism I've gotten from my book club girlies is that some of the books don't feel like you say it's Black characters, and you're saying that it's centering our
Mm.
culture, but it doesn't read that way. And that's something that I found
Yeah.
refreshing about
Yeah.
your book. I just wanna give you props. Like, I really,
Thank you.
really appreciated that you stayed true to, like, centering that Black experience and protecting your art in that way because that's what I liked about it. Yep.
Thank you. I appreciate that because it's really hard, especially like I think that's what made me decide to go the indie route is because it's just like going the trap route is cool, but I think there's limitations to what's marketability, what do the people want. But I write for my people. I write for the
Yeah.
black gays, you know what I mean? Theys and all of them because I feel like it's for them, it's for representation. And it's for me first because I wanted to write because I didn't see representation. And if you don't get it, you don't get it. And if you do, thank you. If you're not, thank you if you're not non-black, but it's not for everybody to understand. If you don't like it, I really don't care.
I love
So,
that. Come
and if
on.
it doesn't make me $1 gajillion, at least I know I'm doing this for the love of writing, the love of representation. I think that's what's most important to me.
I really resonate with that. I really do. And I appreciate the effort and intentionality that you put into your writing, like for real. So, do you want to write more vampire themed books?
Not right now. I feel like this is gonna be my vampire world.
Okay.
I've also written a Fae and Witch romance. It's called Once Upon Her Dream, and it's in the 10th Muse anthology, specifically Sapphic anthology. So I'm getting to a point where I kind of want to entertain like other types of like mystical beings. So I've done the witch, I've done the Fae. I have some other stuff that I'm cooking up that's exploring other mystical beings. So I kind of want to just branch out because you don't see a lot of Sapphic, especially
You
Black
don't.
Sapphic like shadow people or I don't know, like tree people. So I want to try creatures that are just not your normal thing.
I'm here for all of it. I love fantasy, and you're right. Black sapphic representation is underrepresented in that fantasy genre, so we really need more
Mhm.
because I wanna read characters that I can
Yeah.
relate to and still escape reality, you know?
Right.
You've mentioned that you really enjoy writing fantasy. Like, what other type of books are you thinking about dropping in the future?
So on Substack, I have a Sapphic strip club serial story where it's like dropping on, like it dropped every Friday. So we're done with season one, and so now I'm taking it off the paid platform and putting it out to the public. So it's gonna be a Black Romance Book Festival exclusive. I actually have the book here, but it's called Roll the Dice.
Oh, I
I don't know if you
love
see it.
that. Yeah, I can see
Yeah,
it.
so it is erotic fiction. So that was my dabble and excitement to do like a little side creative project. But I was like, let me go ahead and push this to the public. So I think a lot of people will like it. And then the next type of genre that I'm going for is like horror, like Southern Gothic horror. With a little bit of romance to it. So I feel like the dark romance and horror aspect is calling me. I'm a little nervous because like there's a lot of research that has to go into it because I want it to take place in like the deep south.
Mhm.
So I think this one's gonna take me a little bit of time, but I'm just gonna go in and not even think twice.
I'm really excited for it, though. Is this going to be a queer book or
Yeah,
okay,
straight queer, straight sapphic. I'll say
straight sapphic,
specifically.
okay.
Hmm.
I do feel like the representation we need more in, like, the dark romance space and horror and all of that,
Hmm.
so I'm excited to hear that you're going to be venturing into that because I want the story. I'm really here for it.
I'm a little scared, but we'll get it done.
Yeah. I think that just anybody that's brave enough to put out their art and being open to criticism, like, Imma always give you all props. So, I understand the
Yeah.
nerves, I do, but just trust that there is a community of us out here that are really excited for anything that you decide to put out because I'm really just excited to have the representation and, I can't find stories like what you all are writing in the books in the
Hmm.
TV film space. Like, I feel like I
Nope.
have to go to books to find it.
Absolutely, absolutely. I was actually just having this conversation with my wife about how like the only ones we really find is, well, it's not even on TV, but it's like on YouTube. I don't know if you've ever
Yes.
watched like lesbian web series. Like I used to tear those up like coming up, and it's just like that's the only thing I've seen. But that kind of also inspired me to want to write like really raw and dirty the way that I do because it's just like it's not perfect. It may feel like it's a Tubi movie, and that's okay because that means it's raw and authentic. It's not fresh. It's not like it is fresh, but it's not like perfectly cut and shaped a certain way. And I want it to be raw and rugged. And maybe she says something crazy, but oh well, it's
Yeah.
my book.
And you can do what you want. Okay, it's your book.
Exactly. Exactly. And it took me a long time to come to that. I used to think like it had to be a certain standard or a certain type of way. Like it may be controversial, but I know we're supposed to say that romances have happily ever afters. But I like a little messiness. So I'm just to the point where I'm just like, forget the rules. I'm gonna write how I write. And just make my own, you know?
That's real. That's real. That's what I want though. I love mess and drama in the books. Okay?
Okay,
Cuz
listen.
real life is messy and dramatic.
Exactly.
It's so many sapphic, cozy, and don't get me wrong, I gobble those up too. If it's giving Hallmark vibes, I like it. But I like a little dark with my light too. We need some balance.
Okay. That's how I read too. Like you said, I like cozy, but sometimes when I be reading a book, it's kind of toxic. Like, where's the drama? Why is this working out so perfectly? Like, I'm looking for like some challenges.
Exactly. Exactly. So I'm excited to hear that you're going to be at Black Romance Book Fest. I will definitely stop by your table and
Yay.
support. So, how has your experience been at the book events?
So I've had amazing times, but I'm learning like what audiences gravitate to me towards me and what don't. And I think being a Black Sapphic author is really hard being the only or the one of the few. to
Yeah,
just to keep it real because I feel like these spaces are for Black romance or Black authors, but being one or the only is kind of like stifling sometimes because you don't feel like people are going to gravitate towards you, which I've had a great turnout. But sometimes it kind of plays on my like the doubt that I have sometimes. So I want to start leaning more into finding those Black Sapphic events or just like those specifically queer events because I feel like we are underrepresented in the main spaces, but it's great to be in spaces that are just strictly you guys. So
yeah.
that way we can just like really pour into the community that's we're gearing for.
Well, I'm glad you said that because I am excited to collaborate with you because everything that I do is black and sapphic. It's for the black gays, okay?
Yes, we love it.
Yes. So, with you being kind of new in the self-publishing space, what would you
Mhm.
say have been some of your like the challenges and obstacles that you've overcome and any tips that you would share with anybody that's about to embark on that journey too?
I would say, like, self-doubt because a lot of times, like, I struggle with comparison, I'm not gonna lie, especially being a new author, you see what everyone else is doing and you feel like you have to keep up. And I think that's something that I struggled with in the beginning. But I had to learn like to just focus on what I'm doing. Even if the book is not, hitting the bestsellers list or I don't have as much as a big audience, I still have to focus on my lane because I know that there's dedicated readers that are looking at me and are looking for the books and stuff like that. So I have to constantly remind myself like just keep doing it because you have your community and it will grow. And I can't compare myself to anybody. I have to strictly focus on my path. So I think if you're a new author or you're writing a book and you really want to put it out there and you're doubting yourself, do it anyway, do it scared because there's gonna be people that read it. If even if it's 2 to 3 people, shoot, even if it's your mama and your sister, somebody is starting to read it, and the more and more that you share it and talk about it, you'll find your people, and you'll continue to grow as an author. And that's not your only book too, like, you're gonna come out with more books, I'm assuming, so there's authors where people didn't find them until their 45th book. And now people are like more people are coming towards them because that was the book that, set it off for them. So everybody's journey is different. And I have to remind myself that.
Yeah, that's real. It's several authors that were new to me this past year in 2025. And then I'm like, oh, I want to read more of their books. And they got like 100 plus books. I'm like, oh my God. I have so many books to catch up on. And they're like, I just discovered them. So, but you bring
Mhm,
up a great point. We're all just running our own races. And it
mhm,
is very, that comparison and looking at what everyone else is doing, but really staying true
mhm.
to yourself. That resonates to me just as a content creator and trying to build my podcast. So I needed to hear that too. So thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I needed
Amazing,
that gem.
and the fact that you've crafted this space is so niche and specific, like, there's no one else like you, so I just wanna give you your flowers because I feel like you have to remember, like, you're doing you, you're doing it your own way, like, forget what everybody else is doing.
I receive all of that because it's just difficult too because I can understand why some people start to cater to other spaces because they want to see
Mhm.
growth. And
Yeah.
sometimes when you're very niched, but the growth in this space might look different than growth in another
Mhm.
space, and
Yeah.
also taking that into consideration. So, but I receive all of that, and thank you for those flowers.
Of
Like I said, I needed
course.
to hear this. So,
Yes,
thank you.
receive
Yes,
it.
thank you so much. Are you working a full-time job while also building your writing business?
Child, yes. I'm working full time, honey. 40 hours a week. And also trying to write books. And I also have other businesses. So it's just like a big juggling act, to be honest.
So, what are some things that you're doing to one juggle and maintain all those responsibilities without losing yourself in the middle of it? Like just like your self-care practices or things that you do to kind of just
Yeah.
stay afloat.
I'm trying. Like I have the paddle. I'm trying as we speak to, float like realistically because I have ADHD and I struggle with routine,
Yes.
consistency, but luckily with the dopamine hits, like writing is like I hate to say it, but it's like crack to me. So
Yeah.
like to writing a book, if I lock in, I got it. But what I struggle with the most is stuff that I don't want to do. Like editing to me is not fun. Reading the story over and over again, I get over it. But I have to remember the bigger picture. So I feel like finding one project at a time. So like right now my focus this season is I got book tours I gotta prepare for. I need to get this book out. So this is my lane right now versus, another season where maybe I'm not on tour I could focus on something else. So just like creating deadlines, being strategic, and just walking in even when I don't feel like it. Because me and discipline are not friends. And I'm trying to like get to that point where we are.
Look, that's real. I struggle with procrastination. I also
Okay.
struggle with routine. Yeah.
Strong.
Look, it's a struggle, and
Yeah.
I've learned I have to have a deadline.
Mhm.
Something about a deadline will light a fire under me but
Yes,
then
girl.
I'll wait until the last minute, like, I'm scrambling up
You get
up
it
against
done
that
though.
deadline. I get it done, though.
Whatever. It's something about like, yeah, I maybe have to lie to myself. It's due tomorrow, but it's due in 2 months because
Yes.
it's get it done, get it done.
I think a lot of people aspire to be entrepreneurs and
Mhm.
aspire to build things and do their own thing, but, like, creating work for yourself and staying motivated to create that work when you don't have a boss breathing down your neck, that's very difficult.
Yes. Yes, very difficult.
Very difficult. So, I hear you. I just wanna give you props for juggling everything that you're doing and a full-time job.
Pat myself on the back.
Yes,
It's not easy, child.
I know. Do you have aspirations of being a writer full-time? Is that what you're working towards, or will you always kinda juggle this and another project or a job too?
Probably always juggle it. Well, primarily I do wanna leave my job, but I think I wanna be a creative full time.
I understand.
I don't want to strictly lock myself into being an author because I'm also like a spiritual teacher. I also am becoming a DJ and I have other adventures and I'm a content creator. So I explore different hobbies. So I just like, I want to be able to live my life freely and do everything that I want. And whatever season I'm in, allow it to be that. And just explore because I don't want to ever, because I've in the past, I've locked myself be this. You have to be that. And I was unhappy because I felt like I needed to live in this box. So I feel like an author would be a part of the journey, but it'll be also like a branch of the tree of creation that I develop for myself on the journey.
Look, I didn't realize we had that much in common. I am very much a multi-hyphenate as well, and one
Yes,
thing I love
that's
is
what's
a
up.
side quest. Girl, I learned how to
That's
DJ
how you
too.
know,
I
that's
DJ
why I have so
too.
many stories. Too many side
Look,
missions.
so many side missions. Like, I've had so many businesses that I started and stopped, because I like to go with the flow, and if I wanna change my mind, I feel entitled to change my mind, but this is the first time, like, I feel like I found something that, like, I'm really passionate about this in a
I
way.
love it.
Yeah, like how you feel about writing, that's how I feel about this, but that's just so funny. I learned how to DJ too. Like, I got all the
Hey, come
yeah, I
on,
took DJ
TJ.
classes. Yeah.
Me too. I took a DJ class. I was like, I'm gonna get my controller next month because I'm about to be. Don't play
Yes.
with
Look,
me.
I DJ all of my family functions. They don't
I love
yeah.
it.
So
I'm
when you
trying to get
said that,
like
I'm like, I
you.
understand, okay? So scratching is the hardest part for me, like,
Yeah,
so that's I'm still practicing, but I got them transitions down and mashups and
that's
all
all
that,
you
yeah.
need. That's all you
That's
need.
real
They don't know.
really?
Okay,
Exactly.
listen. I ain't kid scratch either, but once you get that good mix,
Yeah.
you
It's
good.
really comes down to song selection, being able to, like, read the
Mhm.
room and knowing what to play next.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly.
But no,
Okay, I
everything
love
you're
that.
saying, I resonate with, okay? I'm a
Here.
multi-hyphenate too. Yes. So, where can readers go and find more of your work? Where can they find you?
Yeah, so you can go to my website at moniquegoode.com if you want to stay updated on everything I have coming up. You can follow me on Instagram at by Monique Goode. I also have a Substack which you can find via my website. That's where I update monthly with my newsletter. Also, when Roll the Dice season 2 comes out, you'll get some information on that as well. So that's how you can stay locked
Yes.
in.
Y'all, make sure that you go and support and subscribe and follow and do all the things, okay? Because honestly, I see this as a way for us to invest in our community. If we want to receive more books and stories that center us, the best way to do that is to show up and support y'all so that you one know that it's readers out here so you can overcome that self-doubt because we will
Yeah.
support you, okay? So I'm really excited. Is there anything else that you like to share with the audience about you, about your work, and just what you have coming up moving forward?
Yeah, so if you are going to Black Romance Books Festival, if you're in DC, you want to catch me, get the books in person, you can catch me on tour. I also have a few signed paperback copies of The Cure of Us on my website if you want to buy directly from me. I have my book, The Fate of Us, available in an ebook, but the paperback will be available at a later date. But yeah, I have so much in store for you guys. I'm so excited. Also, check out the 10th Muse, the Sapphic Anthology. It's only going to be available for a couple months. And all the proceeds that are accumulated go to a nonprofit that specifically supports BIPOC therapists that support not black but queer and transgender people. So if you want to give back to the community, that's an amazing way to check out my story and other Sapphic authors.
I love that. I love a good anthology. I'll be honest with you, okay?
it keeps you going.
It does, and I just like the variety of the stories that you can find in those. So,
Yes.
I love to hear it. Well, I really appreciate you for making time to come on my podcast and for, giving me the chance to get to know you better. And I'm really excited to collaborate with you in the future. But really, like, thank you. I'm very grateful and excited to read more of your work in the future.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me. Thank you for letting me come up here and, share my story and my books. I can't wait to like connect with you in person at Black Romance Book Festival.
Yes.
But yes, I'm excited.
Thank you for tuning in to the Book Lovers Club. If you love today's episode, make sure you subscribe so you never miss a chapter. And if you're feeling generous, leave a review because those reviews help other lovers find us. So if you want to keep this conversation going, please join me on Instagram or hop on over to F.U.B.U to join the virtual book club. And until next time, remember, the stories we read can help us write the love lives of our dreams. See you next Sapphic